The classic dark and surreal twin-stick isometric shooter returns with a vengeance, all for £8.99p, or so it says here. My name's Kanan and welcome back to the home of cheap gaming. And so, kicking things off, the story-ish. Crazed gunmen want you dead. You take a little offence over this and decide to get them before they get you, in a big bath of blood. Okay, so this is a remake of the Postal Dude's infamous first foray into the world. And I'll stop reading from this now. Anywho, take it from me, it's been updated, recreated, remastered and modernised to bring it shooting its way into 2020. With a brand new rampage mode, high score chaser basically, and classic campaign that takes you on a journey from your home through a ghetto, a mine, a trailer park, to the end, airbase, and even a new location, which is a carnival. Who doesn't like a carnival? Unless it's caked in blood, although some may. It's also worth noting that the original add-ons are here as well, with a load of extra locations, all in one campaign. Various enemies, from crazy vigilantes to angry ostriches. Angry ostriches? What? And 10, yes, count them. No, we're not going to count them. 10 weapons. From the humble shotgun to the rocket launcher. But how does it play? I hear you all cry. Cast your minds back to 1997, and I know some people probably weren't even born then. I was 23 and not a great fan of twin-stick shooters. Snap right back to 2020 and, last year actually, and the Switch came out and, all changed. I do actually have a fondness for the genre now, and I was just wondering whether I've missed a trick and, missed a good few opportunities back then to play some decent games. So I thought I'd grab myself a copy and give it a try, see how it compares to these days. And so as we hit the options menu, we've got game, which gives you options about different parts of the game. You got video, that gives you options about the video. You got audio, that gives you options about the audio. Controls, well, these are interesting and you can change the sensitivity of them. That's actually quite cool. The audio menu gives you different audio aspects, master, music, FX and dialogue. The video options give you a special effects, which I shall come back to later on. And then you have rampage mode, as I mentioned before, which is basically a score builder. And then the campaign with many different levels, but I'm going to start off on normal because I'm not that good. And so with the difficulty set, let's dive in. So let's have a look at the game screen, shall we? So top left hand side you have the population, and then you have the amount of hostiles you need to kill before you can move on to the next stage. Then you got how many hostiles are actually on the actual level in the middle, and how many you've actually killed, and a percentage of them. Bottom left hand side you've got your health, and you can pick up little icons that give you more health. They look like dice. And then along the bottom of the screen you have all your guns, your weapons, your pickups, your grenades, molotovs, all sorts of things like that, all displayed at the bottom, also that you can just use the shoulder buttons to scroll through them and pick them. Well, as we know, it's a twin-stick shooter, and you hold one button to shoot and you hold the right directional button to direct your actual bullets. The other side is to move round. You have a crouch. First time I think I've played one of these with a crouch button. Your ability to choose weapons and grenades and things mapped to the shoulder buttons. I will say that the game feels a bit of a slower paced and a little more stiffer to the new twin stick shooters I'm used to today. And to be honest, it's a bit of a welcome pace. It's kind of nice to actually, plan things instead of just everything heading towards you all at the same time. It feels more kind of precise rather than everything being just a hail of bullets flying everywhere. The game opens up at your home and, as I said before, takes you through many different stages, all while picking up different weapons and killing different bad guys. Weapons at the bottom of the screen add nice options and playing styles. And there's even a button that you can press to execute fallen enemies that haven't quite died yet, which is nice, I suppose. And then there's the crosshair that you have. So when you point at someone, the crosshair comes up on them and it shows their life. So starts at green, goes to amber, and then red when they're almost going to die, which is kind of a nice little touch. As a negative, I found that I would occasionally get stuck in the scenery from time to time, which was very annoying, especially when the enemies were mounting around me. And I found that I couldn't move past a fence or a car or something. As for the looks of the game, it looks more real and a bit more gritty than the new twin stick shooters of these days with their cartoony and neon looks. It's quite refreshing to have a bit of a darker style. I absolutely love, and I know it's only a gimmick because it does nothing, the fact that you can change the colour of your jacket, which is pretty cool. I think these little things and a few little other things within the game kind of like are lacking from nowadays games. Almost like they've all been lost in time. Do-do-do-do-do-do. And the option to change the look from 1997 to black and white, game dude, which is basically green, heaven and hell, which is a weird monochrome type look. And there's even one that's kind of near to that neon feel that the young uns all want these days. As for the sound, again, it's more of a real take with speech here and there, guns and explosions sounding meaty and car alarms going off, adding to the immersion of the game. The speech is done quite well, with characters shouting the FUs and help me's. Your character sort of reminds me of Duke Nukem, only with his own style of one-liners. And on to the score. I score games out of 5, and I will point out that all of it is my own views. If you don't agree, or you do agree, leave a comment down below. That's what it's there for. And I will give Postal Redux a 4 out of 5. I can see that I missed a trick when I was younger. If this is the quality and style of proper retro twin stick shooters, I enjoyed the look of this with a more real take and its one-liners. This really does have a proper style about it, unlike some of these new ones that, all look the same. It feels like a breath of fresh air to the genre that there are many, many, many entries to. So, did you play the original when it first came out in, I believe, 1997? Did you enjoy it? Are you enjoying it now? Let me know down in those comments. And remember, keep it cheap, keep it switch heads.